Booster Course Wave 4 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is here, and we're checking out all changes and differences made for the returning courses. The first race of the Fruit Cup is Tour Amsterdam Drift. Situated in North Holland along the IE waterfront, the capital city of the Netherlands is known for its windmills and canals, the historic main street of Damrak, and the Rijksmuseum, home of the works of famous Dutch artists and beyond. So how does the most recent update differ from its mobile appearance? Let's find out. Amsterdam Drift debuted as part of the Amsterdam Tour in 2022, with the second and third variants introduced later, like many other city tracks. For the Switch version, the visuals were not too drastically changed, but the first, reverse second, and both the main and reverse versions of the third variant were used in this combined route over the span of 3 laps. This composite was accomplished by opening up a previously unused path connecting the first and third variants, but many other modifications, both big and small, were made to the course. As we usually do, let's start with the changes to the gameplay. Lap 1 guides racers along the initial version of Amsterdam Drift and Tour. At the start, the barrier to the left was modified in shape to close off the left side only. The shortcut of the first bend was altered to feature grass extending to the other end, a cut that is more useful on the final lap. The barrier was removed to the right to clear the way for routes later, and other such removals were made throughout the track. After hitting the glide ramp, the train typically could be seen arriving about 7 seconds into the race, unlike the original where it went unseen during main variant races. With a great view of the Zandse, we can see that the fence by the first windmill was extended. Along this path, the Monty moles were moved to slightly different spots, while the ramp with dash panels and the grass on the right side before the bridge was removed entirely. The fencing just after the bridge was adjusted a bit, possibly to prevent squeezing through, and the trickable small log shortly thereafter was taken off the path. For boarding the ferry, the wide ramp featuring a dash panel was simplified to a trimmed ramp without the dash panel. After driving along the tram rail and turning around to the left, we're ready to start the next lap. For lap 2, the route switches to Amsterdam Drift 2R, leading into the city's canal system. Bubbles rise from the first grate noisily, pushing drivers up now like the others. Trick time! But just before this grate, the path to the right was blocked off, and this is reflected with the ceiling of the alternate path's exit here too. A little deeper in the canal, the second and third pipes, with the latter being a gusher, were removed from the wall. However, a new water blasting pipe was installed on the left after the dip in the basin. The grating near the canal exit no longer exists, but an arrow field prevents passing, at least for this moment in the race. At the exit itself, the Kanami Road, the official Japanese name for the wire mesh road, incline was widened with its barriers taken away. Jumping out of the water, the starting gate can be seen again. The final lap really mixes things up, switching the route at first to Amsterdam Drift 3R. Making a U-turn onto another street with rails, a dash panel now can be found near where the tram starts. From here, another right turn brings racers onto the unused road connecting back to the end of the Damrak. But instead of turning towards the finish line, a detour to the left adjusts the route to that of Amsterdam Drift 3, directly through incoming trailing racers. This leads back into the canal without the ramp from the original, since it's the same spot as the canal exit from the previous lap. The passageway sealed off before now allows entry. On the other side, another Kanami Road matches the changes made to the previous one. This connects directly to the Kokenhof, the tulip fields of South Holland. The first weed of the vast garden, a menacing piranha plant, was uprooted. After passing through the Rijksmuseum, the barrier on the left by the flower market was restructured, giving a better view of the stands, with something similar done for the next barrier just beyond the bridge. Drivers traversed the opened connecting road again to finish the race. Yeeche, what a ride! Despite looking a lot like a port of a city track from one of the earlier waves, numerous aesthetic changes were made. There are the usual differences in texture, lighting, visual effects, and spectators, as well as the minimap's 90-degree turn again, but some fun little tweaks and additions can be found too. Each clock roughly read 230 in Tour, but now it reads 150. The brick pattern here is quite different, with some bricks being smaller than the others. Looking ahead, these and all arrow-marked crowd control fences were made into the standard type. Speaking of arrows, our famous red arrow signs were added in various spots. Can you find them all? What's also red is the bike now parked on the left by an umbrella, with 4 more bikes over here added, replacing one of the 2 benches. On the other side, the traffic signal was swapped out with a trolley pole designed for trams, but without the overhead line. Gliding over to the windmills again, we noticed that the grass levels were made distinctly different. More grass or plant material can be seen blowing in the breeze now, which admittedly is a nice touch amidst the simplicity here. And the sail support elements of this windmill style have been recolored. Moving on, there's an obvious design on the floor of the ferry now. Back on the street, we can see that some windows of the building near the crossing went missing. What? Anyway, the awning near the second tram stop was made translucent and given a curved support bar. On the other side of the road, the banners can be seen waving in the wind now. Oh, here are the city's little birds. They were behind the starting grid this whole time, along with 3 more bikes. Continuing into the canals, decent underwater effects and surface transparency add to the atmosphere now, but the pipe-themed arrow signs no longer can be found here. The life preserver and flowers on the ferry were altered a bit, while the ramp was revised to have 2 arrows instead of 4. And the grating after the last removed pipe became crowd control fencing for some reason. Near the canal exit, we can see the hull and oars of a new rowboat above. The arrow count for this ramp was upped from 7 to 8, the same as the other like this later. This traffic signal near the tram after the 3rd lap starts was turned to face oncoming traffic. Skipping ahead to Kokenhof again, the nearby tulip colors are revealed to be differently arranged compared to the tour version to match the style of the background rows. 1 more bike was added outside the building just after the flower market. Finally, trolley sounds are a new auditory change and can be heard even in the opening. And that is it. The music seems inspired by traditional folk songs of the region, with vocals, a syncopated march beat, and accordion. In addition to these elements, the original includes pipes and plays the acoustic guitar as 5th chords for a particular flavor. Interessant. For the new arrangement, the vocals differ a bit, with more lively percussion, a twangy jaw harp, whistle, and tubular bells, while the acoustic guitar no longer has prominent fifths. The accordion slide before the loop is different, given the live performance. Dat klinkt beter. It's a more refined version of the intended style. And that's about it for all changes we found in Tour Amsterdam Drift. While the track is humble in terms of visual upgrades, the way the routes interlink keeps us on our toes. But what do you think? Have you found any notable changes that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Booster Course Wave 4 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and other things Nintendo too. Thanks for watching. Until next time, tot ziens!